Okay friends, it's time to get started on replacing our charcoal canister. To do that, you're going to want to safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so you can make your way underneath the center. Now let's go ahead and start removing some things here. What you're going to notice is you have a plastic shield that makes its way over here, and it's going to be covering a whole bunch of lines and wiring. So all we want to do is come right over to this area here. You're going to find a Phillips head screw. You can turn that counterclockwise, and you should be able to lower this down enough to be able to access everything from up on top of it. There we are. Now that we have that lowered down, we can make our way over to this area. Now if you were to look at this, right where it connects onto the charcoal canister, you're going to find two little tabs, one on each side of it. All you want to do is use a couple small screwdrivers, and you're going to carefully get in between those tabs and the charcoal canister. And then once you are, just carefully try to twist, just enough to make it so the tab releases from the canister. You want to do the exact same thing on the other side at the same time. And then after that, you can grab this, give it a little wiggle, and pop it off. Now let's move along to our electrical connector. Over towards the driver's side of it, you're going to see a little squeeze tab. Go ahead and squeeze on that and remove the electrical connector. After you have it off, give it a quick inspection and make sure you don't see any funny colors. If you do, it's probably corrosion and it would need to be dealt with. Now let's move along to this area right here. If you were to look at it where it connects onto the charcoal canister, you're going to see that it has a green locking tab. Now for that tab, you just want to come along the driver's side of it, and you're going to squeeze on the two little ears of the green area. Once you have them squeezed together, you can go ahead and press this through towards the passenger side. Now once you have that out of there, go ahead and carefully get behind this, and we're just going to try to separate it real quick. You can remove that from the charcoal canister and give that a quick inspection as well. Now we can follow this hose that comes right up along here to where you can see a connection point where it connects onto the rest of the EVAP lines leading up towards the engine. We need to continue on by squeezing this clamp. We'll slide it up the hose a little bit. After that, we'll use a pick to break this free, and then we can slide the hose off of there. Now we can start removing the charcoal canister from the body of the vehicle. Now looking along each side of the charcoal canister assembly, you're going to find two 12mm headed bolts. But on the passenger side, you're also going to find one push clip. Let's start with the push clip. For that, I'm going to use a small pick, carefully get in between the center and the outer aspect of it, and start bringing down the center. That's going to unlock this. Once it's unlocked, you can go ahead and remove it. We'll give it a quick inspection and set it aside because we will be reusing it. Let's continue on with our 12mm. We're going to start removing these. Typically what I like to do is loosen one side, and then I'll fully remove the other, and then of course I'll make my way over and fully remove the first side. One. Now for the last one, make sure you're holding onto the charcoal canister. You can start lowering this down and out of the vehicle. There it is, friends. It's time to start installing our brand new charcoal assembly. If you were to look over at the driver's side of this, you can see that you have a little tab that comes out at an angle. Now as we put this into position, it needs to go ahead and fit up into the body right in this area. Once you have it in position, you can go ahead and put the rest of the charcoal up and start in all of your mounting bolts. Now that I have all the mounting bolts started, we can go ahead and snug them up. Put your push clip back in, lock it down. All right, so now we can reconnect everything up here. First, let's start with that upper hose. Just gonna slide it right on there as far as we can. Make sure it's completely bottomed out. Once you have it bottomed out, go ahead and take your clamp and put it in position. Give that a tug to make sure it's completely secure. Now we can move along to this one right here with the green locking tab. Once we slide this in, you wanna go ahead and press this so it's in the completely locked position, and then go ahead and give it a tug. Once again, we wanna make sure everything's secure. Reconnect your electrical connector. Listen for a click, give it a tug. Now we can reconnect this as well. Now let's reconnect this. Listen for that click, give it a tug, make sure it's secure. Now we can go ahead and put this back in its upright position. For this, when you have it down, you can see up along this area, there's a stud that comes down, and then if you look up along the top of the plastic, you can see the area that it needs to fit into. Go ahead and line those up. Once it's lined up, press it all the way up, and that's gonna lock it in. You do not need to turn this clockwise to lock it down. Just go ahead and give it a wiggle to make sure it's secure. Double check everything along the way. Assuming everything looks good, go ahead and get it back on the ground, start it up, make sure you don't have a check engine light. After that, take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.